Did you watch Gary's interview last night?
No, I didn't, mate. No,
No.
haven't seen.
The perception that seems to be coming out of Melbourne this morning is that Gary will either retire at the end of the year or ask for a trade. Is that the feeling that you have had with your interactions with him?
Let me just say a couple of things about the situation. Is one, that we'll support Gary and we'll continue to support him football-wise and matters off the field as well. And two, we would like people to respect the personal nature of some things that obviously affect his life and his off-field. And we won't be commenting or speculating on that. I think some things have glossed over that haven't been reported is that he said he likes the Gold Coast, loves the Gold Coast, loves his teammates, and he said he's committed. So obviously people pick and choose what they want to report.
Do you think the criticism he's copped this week has been unfair after...
For his football?
Yeah.
As I said after the game, which again wasn't reported, he wasn't the only one that didn't play very well. He's a victim of his own standards, unfortunately. I suppose when you become a great player, everybody expects those standards to be met week in and week out. He's allowed to have an off game. As I said, there wasn't many that actually had a good game. So
a lot of commentators, including some of his former teammates, suggesting that he looked disinterested last weekend. Is that unfair through your eyes, or is some of that justified?
We could probably aim that at a few other players as well. So sometimes looks can be deceiving when sometimes things outside footy can actually distract you in your mindset going into a game or playing. People don't know that, they just want to comment. I suppose that's their job, but I've spoken to Gary this week, and he's very keen to play well. He's got a lot of pride. He's been a great player, and he played very well first week. So one bad game, unfortunately, he gets labelled with something.
You spoke a bit earlier in the season about Gary maybe going into a forward sort of role. Do you think that'll happen this weekend? He
did last week.
Is he happy, from your experience and your conversations with him, is he happy to be going forward, or would he prefer to be playing?
No, he's happy to play whatever role. Spoke to him last week about the role early, and he was more than happy. So he's not pushing back at all. It's just about being able to share the load, and we've got to develop other players. We've got to win games as well. That's the most important thing. But Gary probably spent 60% of his game time in the midfield last week, and we'll probably look to 60-70% this week.
So he's obviously your biggest name still and your highest paid player. You're happy with what you're getting out of him on and off the field?
Well, there's only one game you're talking about, Michael. So we've only played 2 games, so people tend to be throwing barbs a fair bit after 2 games. He equalled for the medal in round 1. So from my point of view, he's played very well, and he's had a poor one at the weekend. Off field, he's very engaged. He's a very caring individual. He cares about his teammates. He's spending a lot of time with some younger players on the track, helping May and Lynch as well. So certainly off field, he's been terrific.
He left open last night, as in the interview, saying that he wasn't sure about next year if he wants to play, if he wants to go. For a list management perspective, would you rather know sooner rather than...
It's all speculation, but it's the same with other players. We had 2 players, we didn't know whether they were going to stay last year. So list management, you prepare for all options, but from our point of view, it's just speculation.
Gary Ablett aside, how's morale going after that?
Gary's, no more Gary questions.
How's the morale going after
that? Yeah, it's good. Really, it's not a strange group, not the right phrase, but they're really a group that they train well, they tend to play well, and they've responded in a really good way this week. Training was quite physical on Tuesday and Thursday. They really attacked it in a really positive manner. The vibes have been really good, as you'd hope it would be, but sometimes a young group can go back in the shell like we did on the weekend in a game, which is the wrong time to actually go back into your shell. But what we've seen this week has been very positive.
Can we expect not a totally different looking team, but a more effort effort from the boys this week?
You'd like to think so. Yeah, I'd like to think so. I mean, except for the first 20 minutes of the first game, I was happy with their effort. But last week was, except for parts when we got back to 3 goals, the last quarter and a half or so was really disappointing. So we've spoken about that. We've all taken responsibility as a group internally. That's obviously coaches and players, and we've got to have to address that with effort this week.
Jager's name has been mentioned. I know Tom Lynch said they're not going to be overly focusing on the Jager factor, but it must come into play with the boys they're taking on.
Oh, I don't know. It hasn't been mentioned in any meetings, so whether the players, I'm not too sure. No, we're just worried about ourselves, to be honest. And, we've got a few things that we've got to address rather than actually worry about other people.
On Tuesday, Michael Barlow said that when there's sort of intense criticism around a club, you can see who wants to be here. Is that the way you see it in a game like this? This is where you see...
Yeah, I think it starts on the track, and the way they've responded this week and the way they responded to training has been a very positive mode, obviously a positive reaction to it. So, yeah, but it's obviously proofs in the pudding, and so we've got to be able to carry that out on the weekend.
Besides the win, what else do you want from this game on the weekend? What do you want to see from the boys?
Well, I think, as mentioned before, I think it's more to go about the way that we want to go about it. And you look at 3 weeks ago, we had a terrific effort performance for 3/4 against the Dogs, who were premiers. So you just don't lose that. And I don't think we lost it in round 1. We just didn't play very well at times, but it actually went out the back door on the weekend. So we've got to recapture that, which doesn't take talent. It just takes a mindset. So that's the sort of thing we're looking for this week.
I guess we'll only know after Sunday. You touched on mindset there. What will change around these first quarters? Because that's sort of, you're starting a long way behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, we are, Michael. It's obviously been spoken about internally, and we've just got to get our hands on the ball. You can have all your theories you like, or set up, change your warm-ups, or change the time you go on the ground, or kick a certain way, or whatever. But it's really about getting your hands on the footy. Have to roll your sleeves up and win the ball. And that's what Hawthorn pride themselves on. They're obviously been a great side, for a long time. So there's no doubt they're going to be physical, and we've got to match that, and we've got to be able to win our own ball. And that's what starts in the centre square.
Your captain's been tested, Rodney. 2 new captains, first 2 games. Neither of them have had a big game personally. No. And they haven't been able to address massive momentum swings against them.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we'd like to think that spreading the load a bit. So the main thing is it's going to start in the middle now. We've got some experience there. Obviously Gary's one, but Michael Barlow, some other players that actually go through there that we need to stand up in there. The 2 captains haven't played well. Tom's persevered. Stephen's been, without taking any heat off him, he's been crook for a few weeks, but they need to rise above that, and they need to actually lead, and that's part of their learning process at the same time.
Is Stephen May playing like a guy who's out of contract with a lot of offers and weighing up his future?
No. Spoken to Steve, he's quite angry about the media coverage on that when you talk to him about it. So is his manager. But no, as I said, that we played him a little bit different role last week, which didn't work. So I take the blame for that. But as I said, he's had bronchitis, and I think his level of aerobic has probably hurt him a bit. So maybe played in his mind, but he's trained well this week, so hopefully he'll be right at the weekend.
There's some pretty inspirational comments about Swallows come back last week. Have you seen a change in the group's momentum or mentality after seeing him come back?
Well, it didn't show it on the weekend. Yeah, he's so well respected. He's so highly respected. He's on Tuesday we had a reasonably physical session, but we wanted to control our intensity as far as speed and that, and he's blown his GPS off the chart then and yesterday, and so we're trying to hold him back. He's just really the mentality, the more is better, and harder you go. So he is an inspiration to his teammates.
Do you think that's going to seep through?
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt he's got an effect on his teammates. He's so well liked, but obviously well respected at the same time, and the way he goes about it, he knows no different. So I think in him in a leadership role in the midfield as well. Here's the other one I forgot about. I mentioned take the pressure off Tom and Stephen at either end. I think his efforts and the way he goes about it, it's great for his teammates.
You mentioned the middle before. I think you guys might actually be ranked in the top 3 for inside 50s and centre clearances. So is it, when it comes to taking opportunities, is it a bit more of the forwards taking responsibility, or is it?
Well, I was talking about the centre square at the start of the game. I think overall we're okay. I think Jared Witch has been quite good for us. He was equal with contested ball for us last week. The previous week he was equal in tackles and one contested ball. So his follow-up is good, but we just need that same output as far as from all of them in the first 15, 20 minutes. The first 2 weeks have been poor, but other than that, it's been okay. Yeah, the inside 50s were great against Brisbane, but we didn't capitalise, obviously, that second quarter. So there's a bit of method at the same time, but you don't put the cart before the horse. We've got to get a hand on the ball first.
Obviously, Gary has been the store, people have been talking.
I wouldn't have picked up that from you. You've only asked 8 questions, honey.
But are you personally feeling any pressure after two games? You know, you said it's early in the season.
Not at all, mate. No, it's. I think Michael Barlow said the white noise, did he? There's a bit of noise outside, but they've got to write about something. We went on the weekend, they'll write about somebody else. So I know how they work. They get their agendas, and they like to keep going with it. So it's not an issue for me. My job is to coach the players, keep the group tight, and get them on the board to win a game.